Using headings to create content structure. Generally, it's good practice to divide longer documents into sections, and then label each section with a subheading. Microsoft Word and many learning management systems have a built-in style feature called headings that allows you to use your existing subheadings to add structure, much like an outline to your document. Structured content is easy to navigate and accessible to everyone. We'll add Word's heading styles to this handout. The subheadings have already been created so that each section of the handout is clearly labeled. We'll start by giving the handout's title a heading style that will create the structural foundation for the document. I'll highlight the title, and then in the Styles group on the Home tab, I'll select Heading 1. The look of the title has now changed, but that's okay because I can modify the font style, size, alignment, and color by right-clicking Heading 1 and selecting Modify. From here, I can select from a variety of font styles. I'll make sure to pick one that's easy to read. I can also adjust the font size and change the alignment. I think I'd also like to go with a different color for the title. I like this dark blue. It has great contrast to the document's white background. We'll click OK, and the changes are made. Now that the document's title has a heading style, I can view the structure that I'm creating by selecting the View tab and checking the box next to Navigation pane. The title appears in the navigation pane, and if I scroll down a little further in my document, I can use the navigation pane to quickly jump back to the title. That's pretty handy, and it's another reason why using heading styles is so useful. Let's continue building structure with the rest of the handout's subheadings. I'll highlight the first one and click the Home tab. Because Heading 1 is generally used for only the title of a document, I'll select Heading 2 for this subheading. Using Heading 2 will nest the subheading under the title. See how it's been indented under the title on the navigation pane? The Heading 2 style can be used as many times as you'd like in a document. I'll use it for the rest of these subheadings because they should be equally nested under the Heading 1. Okay, it looks like I'm almost done with this handout. However, there's two subheadings that should actually be nested under the subheading above them. These two sections about measures should be nested under this Heading 2 because they're actually subsections of this Heading 2. In the navigation pane, I'll just right-click Measures of Central Tendency and select Demote. I'll do the same for Measures of Variation. This changed the heading style to Heading 3 for the both of them. See how Measures of Variation is now a Heading 3 in the Styles group? Alternatively, you can always click Heading 3 to apply it to a subheading. Alright, there's one last thing I'd like to do. I'd like to make all of the Heading 2s in this handout the same color as the title. Earlier we used the Modify option to make changes, but this time I'll make the font color change directly to one of the subheadings. And when I have it the way I like, I'll right-click the Heading 2 style and select Update Heading 2 to match selection. All of the Heading 2s in the document have updated with the new font color. That's a pretty useful trick. Okay, we're done working with the subheadings in this handout to create structure. Let's take a look at how to use headings to create a similar structure in a learning management system. Here I've typed a welcome message for my students, and the message has a title and one subheading, so I'll need to add heading styles. I'll highlight the title and locate the paragraph drop-down menu. I'll select Heading, which is the same as Heading 1. From here, I can make adjustments to the font size and color. Next, I'll highlight the subheading. To nest it under the first heading, I'll select Subheading 1. Okay, we're all set. I'll just click Submit to save my changes. Using heading styles helps organize the structure of your content and makes your document easily navigated by everyone.